5:12 p.m. opener log continuation. It's still the 25th of September 2023 at the Weaver John C. Roseman, California. Pissed and tired. Alrighty, I heard past couple of days, and I just couldn't believe it, that Trump would actually do something totally stupid at this point over here by attacking the education department of the United States. Basically, while we're getting our grants and loans to get into college, is the same department that is being threatened by Trump to shut it down. I tell you, I heard about this damn thing and I wigged. Bad enough, I'm struggling for my existence in college as it is, and the the grants are depending upon the political administration to keep them going. Otherwise, I'm not going to have anything to help me out with my collegiate career that's going to be ending in about a semester or two. I'm hoping. And it's important for me. But I get this orange gas bag who thinks he knows better. He's going to decapitate, apparently, several departments. Intelligence departments, law enforcement departments. It doesn't matter which one it is. He's still going to do it, and it's still pissing me off. Hang on a second. Okay, so while KTLA Channel 5 is laughing their faces off left and right, I'm still dealing with the ranting and raving. I want to get a little personal at this point. I mean, today wasn't exactly an easy day to get through, but I made it that kind of a hard day because of the attitude already, and I didn't think I was going to get through it at all. And it drove me crazy, just listening to the damn head going off. But right after right after my classes, I went online and I saw and I heard, and I'm like, you have got to be joking me. And he's not. Guys like him who are screaming and yelling their heads off, and progressive media is feeding on them like piranhas, are presenting this maggot face of saying that one asshole, Matt Walsh, conservative theoretical podcaster, is pushing for no voting. Only the elitists can vote. You don't have privilege. You don't have rights. You have nothing. You cannot vote. But only very few people can vote. And therefore he's entitled. That's why I went after his ass on that one. And he would be one of those kind of guys that would say, yes, eliminate the Department of Education because we don't need smart people. Smart people? No, they're not entitled. They don't have any rights. They have nothing. Only guys like me can do that. I mean, he would probably say that shit. Trump's saying it, and so is his followers. Vivek, whatever his last name is, I'll just keep it to the Vivek, unfortunately. Makes me want to vomit. He wants to eliminate a hell of a lot of departments in the federal government if he ever gets in office. That includes the Department of Education, let alone legal and law and intelligence. He wants to get rid of the Department of Education. He thinks it's redundant. But the schmuck doesn't get it. It's a woke thing. It's a liberal thing. Yeah, well, it's also a conservative thing if you thought about it. There are people out there in conservative land that actually go to conservative colleges, even a religious, even a theological. They're conservative as hell. They're not woke. They're not liberal. And therefore, wouldn't they qualify? But I guess they don't qualify for grants and they don't qualify for loans. See, and the mindset right now is I'm understanding this crap going on while KTLA is doing their blah, 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 blah. It's pissing me off that education's being wasted. I mean, I heard this back in the 80s and 90s. Even the 70s gone crazy over the damn thing. And they, NCAA, no. NCAAP, I guess. I'm trying to remember the acronyms for United Negro Fund. They had put out videos of telling the black youth the mind's a terrible thing to waste, and it is. That's also a good warning for every other person out there too trying to get in there. Certain funds were set up to help black folks go through college. They would fund the black youth going into college. I don't know if they're still doing it or not these days. All I know is the FAFSA's out there that helps out with the loans and the grants. It helps out with the additional funding for materials that are needed for classwork and living expenses. Granted, there are scholarships out there that people can try qualifying for. But there are certain conditions that you actually can qualify. If you're homeless, if you're on food stamps, if you're disabled, you qualify. If you're adopted or been through a broken home, I suppose you qualify. For me, I'm disabled, on disability, I'm doing food stamps. This helped a great deal. Yes, I took full advantage of it. I'm not guilty of it. I don't feel guilty about it. It's not an entitlement. I have to earn it. I have to work for it. But now I'm going to get these gas bags out there, these Trumplicants, saying, no, education's wasted on you. And that's our elected officials and also the assholes trying to get into office. Trying to tell me, you're liberal, you're woke, you can't get in there. You don't qualify. And it's like hearing this. And I have to keep working my ass harder and harder because eventually when I get that diploma, I'll be saying it to them. Shove it up your ass. I earned this. I had the scars to show it. I did my battle. It may be the lowest in the food chain, but damn it, I did it. And what's your major excuse? You're just liberal. You're just woke. Yeah. Shall we have fun? I don't understand what's going on in these guys' head. I don't understand what's the meatball approach on this one. Something of a side note, a scientific situation happened this past weekend. We had a probe that was launched several years ago to an asteroid to get some samples off of it and return home. Now the scientists are going to take years to analyze what they just got. It takes a lot of education, a lot of science, a lot of engineering. It takes a lot of smarts, which means a lot of education, coming from the ground up all the way into the academia elitism. Doctorates, PhDs. It takes a lot. But you're going to take that away from people. And apparently they are. So Trump and the Trumplicans out there want to do this just to get rid of democracy, just to get rid of wokeism, just to get rid. I don't get it what they want. What kind of a country do they want in the first place? Pure anarchy? Neo-fascism? We're commonly trying to accept that these days because that's the reaction we keep getting from them. They want to help. They're going to do this and yet lie through their teeth, including my own representative who unfortunately is a power mad egomaniac who still wants his ego. He chased my representative here in Kern County, McCluster, what else should I call him? He chased Pelosi in that position. And when the position opened up, because of the votes weren't in to have a majority of Democrats, but a majority of the Republicans. He and the elites, he and the nut jobs, they want, and they went nuts. They drank more of the Kool-Aid. They made the Kool-Aid. But McCarthy wanted the power, and now he's got to deal with the consequences of that. And now he's going to be suffering through a hell of a lot. I don't know if he's still going to keep his job or not next term. I hope to God he doesn't. But this is what we're facing. They can say all they want concerning about each other at this point, but they're not going to be interfering with the public when they're going to be interfering with the lower. Yeah, I got a tendency of being pissed off about that one. I really do. I can't stand elitism at this point over here thinking they know better and they don't want anybody else to climb on their ladder. My God, it would scare the hell out of people when you have people coming from below getting onto that ladder of theirs and going through the rungs. How dare they do that? Don't you know we own the ladder? We own the top spaces. You can't come up. We have ceilings that you'll never get through. And yet we got people bypassing them like crazy on their way up. They want to get rid of public education, put in private education, and keep throwing Jesus in the works. Yes, we must have more Jesus. We must have more Jesus. There has to be more Jesus. Come on, come on. We have to have more Jesus. Come on. Screw public, screw Constitution. We need Jesus. I keep wondering and I keep asking myself, are you doing this because you believe that hard, or are you that out of your mind? See, back in the days when he was still alive, there was nothing of this. There was only Roman occupation. Only Roman occupation. They'd scatter, beg, enter other places to conquer and use the people to expand their empire and their armies. But the true Romans were just struggling like crazy in an imperial nightmare. And they've been doing it for a hell of a long while until they lost. Empire split apart. And then they faded. But the idealism regarding an empire still remained. Manifest destiny. It was said by other people that Europeans didn't know how to deal with each other or deal with anybody else to try to kill each other. They knew each other. They knew each other. Thank the Roman Empire for that shit. If you studied U.S. history, if you actually studied world history, Western civilizations, if you actually gone into, my God, colleges to learn this stuff. Even community colleges gave you a footing of what history was and how we got to our point. But no, it's wokeism, it's liberalism, it's the Department of Education. It needs to be eliminated. It's your money out of your pocket. We're pilfering it, we're taking it, and we say so, and screw you. And every one of you. That's how it is. People are saying and doing that to each other. This is what they call democracy. Their version of it. Now, if I'm going to be talking about myself about a little bit here, since when have I haven't? I had put myself through a great deal of stress today, more so than what I needed to do and be going through. I kept thinking that I was not going to pass, and I probably didn't in math. There was a presentation happening in English, critical thinking literature, and something I had to do to get a good grade out of it. Talking about a lady named Judith Viirst and her essay about the truth about lying. And I had put in a hell of a lot of personal interpretations and kept challenging the students. I didn't get that much impact out of these kids. Apparently, they didn't have anything about it. They didn't. I threw questions. I looked at them. I even told personal stories concerning about my own viewpoints about the whole thing, how it affected me a great deal. They just wanted to get a damn thing done and over with. One was trying to be polite about it, and I know we were talking about social lies now. So they demonstrated that. Well, I guess it didn't matter as much. I guess it didn't matter as much. But the instructor was ecstatic. I did the homework. I did a good at presentation. That should have been it. I should have been flying high. Instead of my mindset was still on the test I had today. Concerning about acronyms, concerning about things I was going through, and I don't know what else to say about it. I busted my ass on the damn thing. I should have been proud about it, but I wasn't. I really, really wasn't. I kept thinking to myself that I failed. I failed the math test. This wasn't about numerics. This wasn't about calculations. This was about terms. This was about understanding a logic process and demonstrating the understanding of the logic process. Boolean logic, or actually symbolic logic, they called it. Turn these arcane sentences that don't mean shit, but you turn them into a formula. That's what I did. I turned them into a formula. And I'm still recovering from that. I kept feeling I screwed up. Kept convincing myself I screwed up. I probably did. But maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I wanted to get through this class with a C, even though it was a low C. At least I'll be able to understand something to get through it and then just continue to kick ass. But I keep feeling like, why am I doing this? And I'm still doing this because to me it's important. It's important for me to continue on. Despite the fact I may screw up, at least I'm learning a few things here and there about some kind of weird ass process. And here's the confusing part about this one here. I had a teacher talking about the same damn thing, except she was telling me about Tomein's law or something like that, some kind of process that we have to do essays on. How we're looking at things when we're in another viewpoint. That it's not exactly rocket scientists. It's not exactly deductive reasoning that we have to look at regarding symbolic logic. Everything has an absolute, and therefore we deal with the absolutes. But this Tomein thing was not absolute, but probable. Hell of a way to look at things in an English class, and then you have to change that around to deal with everything else. So that's pretty much driving me crazy on that one. And I still have major papers to do on both of them, and I still got to get to them. But for tonight, I got to finish up the homework, turn it in, and then breathe a little bit of sigh of relief, and then tomorrow, report time. It's going to be busy. And I'm going to be stressing over this shit. I'm going to be. I just don't know what the hell I'm going to do. But except struggle through school. Struggle through the classes. I'm not quite sure what the hell I'm going to be able to deal with this or not. If I should or not. I kept telling myself that I should, but this feeling inside of me keeps saying, no, you're going to continue forward. You're going to be okay. You're going to survive. You're going to get through this damn thing. You'll be surprised. I'll be surprised, all right? If I happen to get a low C out of the damn thing, I'll be definitely surprised out of the damn thing. And if I actually demonstrated I actually learned something about how to do these things, I keep putting these damn glyphs on my papers that would help me out understand what the hell I'm doing. It helps me out with something on it. I don't know. But how to define it, how to tell you the terminologies for it, I could do a match if I remember what the hell the damn thing was, and I was scanning the rest of my test paper to get the clues necessary to finish up on it. And then I kept telling myself, I'm fucked, I'm fucked, I'm fucked, I'm fucked, I'm fucked, I'm fucked, I'm fucked. Yeah. Trying to convince myself. Because if I convinced myself that I passed, will that help me out? I hope. But I have to convince myself that I actually did good on this one. I wasn't really worried about the English stuff. I mean, I did the work and I kept busting my ass on the damn thing. That's all I did was bust my ass on it. So what else am I supposed to do? Stress less, get the homework done, breathe for the rest of the night, see what happens in the morning. And hopefully not go thermonuclear on the politicians and the idiots and the Trumplicans out there before they actually put me into a grave or at a hospital. My own damn body will kill me in the process.